With Texas abortion laws being so strict, an in vitro fertilization doctor and patient tell KVUE's Darrenisha Heron they're worried about the future of the procedure.
Even behind a white picket fence is a story to be told.
Hello.
Allison Spagnolo has spent the last 4 years raising her family here in Texas.
You can't beat the weather down here.
But since Roe v. Wade was overturned, she feels like there is a storm that could loom over the state.
So I have been pregnant actually 7 times. I have 2 kids.
Her youngest arrived after multiple in vitro fertilization attempts, but creating this beautiful family took 5 miscarriages. 2 had to be aborted because they were not viable.
And I was so lucky that I was able to get it.
And while Texas law allows an abortion to save the life of the mother, she worries about laws tightening, as well as the future of her frozen embryo.
We don't know what we're going to be made to do with it, or if we'll have choices or options, and what kinds of decisions will be allowed.
Fertility doctor Shahriyar Kavusi said his IVF patients have been calling, wondering if the changes will impact their plans or treatment.
I think there is some concern, obviously, that there might be some potential or possible new laws at some point.
Former Texas Assistant Attorney General Adam Murray said the lack of laws around IVF could make things murky with Roe being overturned.
I mean, under the definition of what an individual is now, it includes an unborn child at every stage of gestation, right? And so there's not an exception for whether that unborn child is within the womb of a woman or if it's within a petri dish.
Murray said mishandling of the embryo by the doctor or patient could lead to criminal charges.
And this can raise a pretty, interesting question where do they have the right to dispose of those embryos? Say that the freezer system broke down and the embryos were lost. Well, now was he reckless in how he took care of that individual's life? And if so, then he could be charged criminally.
While there are so many scenarios with no clear answer, Murray said most prosecutors wouldn't go after such a case.
But there are some prosecutors that are more extremist, and there are some prosecutors, frankly, that are trying to make a name for themselves.
Spagnolo just hopes she can keep the choice of expanding her family on her terms.
You assume that you can make choices about yourself, your kids, your family, your health, and it doesn't feel like that's the case anymore.
Just so much uncertainty. And Quita, Allison told me because of that, she's even thought about sending her embryo to a different state that has looser laws in this situation. Wow. And so even Dr. Kavusi said he hasn't had any patients do that just yet, but he wouldn't be surprised if that happened sometime soon.
Wow, definitely interesting. Another part of this entire conversation. Darrenisha Heron with us live in the studio tonight. Darrenisha, thank you.